Have you ever watched Smosh? You have. Everyone has. They do an amazing series called Reddit AMA Ask Me Anything.
That's not what it's called.
They call it Reddit. The show is called Reddit. And they enjoy stories from various gaslighters, ne'er-do-wells, general scum of the earth across the country, and they tell them whether or not they're an asshole or if the person that is the other guy, you know, in the story.
Is there anything red and green in there?
I brought my own props and I didn't even realize. So instead of flags, instead of
come back.
red or green, we're going to have myrrh and frankincense.
Frankincense and myrrh are our flags.
Hell yeah.
We're just going to start with a really simple, easy one. Okay? Am I the asshole for updating my will to award my less successful son a higher share of my assets? I, 66 female, have 2 children, Benjamin and Jack, 36 and 33. Okay. Jack is in a good place in his life. He has a good job with a senior position in his industry, a long-term fiancé, a wide circle of friends, and while they're still renting, they're both saving for a house deposit. Benji, on the other hand, despite being the oldest, has not done as well in life. Benji has never had a girlfriend, or a boyfriend in parentheses, and has no friends that he visits. He did give university a try, but left both times in his first year due to anxiety. Today he chooses not to work. Benji and I have been living alone together for the last 6 years now, and I support him financially. I know that the situation is not ideal. However, I've long come to terms with it, since Benji is a square peg trying to fit into a world of round holes, and as I'm getting older, I'm happy for his company. It's an arrangement that suits us both. I'm starting to get on in years, and recently my thoughts have turned to my children and what they will do after I'm gone. A few months ago, I decided to update my will and asked Jack for a meeting to address the changes. I let him know that in my updated will, almost all of my assets, both cash and property, will be going to Benji. However, I'll be giving him a cash amount to help with his house deposit, 10,000 euros. My reasoning for this is that I know full well Jack is capable of looking after himself after I'm gone, but without assistance, Benji will always struggle. He is never going to have what Jack has. Jack did not take kindly to the news. He said that I'm effectively punishing him for having succeeded in life, where his brother has been allowed to not try and fail his entire life, and is now being rewarded for choosing to remain a neat so he can suckle on mommy's teat.
That's crazy. Not the rhyme scheme.
I mean,
That's correct.
catching pure vibes, this dude's a full-time Redditor.
He said some more unkind things about his brother, and at that stage, I said that it was better that he leave so he could calm himself down. On the way out the door, he told me that this was not about money or assets, but this was yet another instance of me favoring and coddling Benji the way I have his entire life. Not true. And then claimed we were in a emotionally incestuous relationship.
Emotionally incestuous is crazy.
I told him to get out. This all went down 3 months ago. Since then, Jack will no longer accept my calls. He ignored my birthday outright, not even a card. At this stage, I'm not expecting him to even see him for Christmas, so it's just going to be me and Benji as usual. Interesting. Other family members have since become aware of the drama and are telling me that my decision is wrong, and that by doing this, I'm driving a wedge between my children when their relationship is already strained. Am I the asshole for my decision? I love both my children equally, but I can't go to my grave knowing that Benji will be out on the streets suffering without me. I know that Jack will never have to struggle in the way Benji has, so I don't know why he even needs the money in the first place. I am frankly disgusted by his greed and lack of concern for his brother's future.
It's one of those things where the mom is always going to care about her child, no matter how shitty her child is. But
Right.
like Benji needs to just lock the fuck in.
Well, here's the thing, though. I say that on reflex, but also Benji's the one person that we've not heard from.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And my first instinct goes, this is a guy who, like, just stayed with mom because it's easier,
Mm-hmm.
and then, like, never, like, left the nest or anything like that, and mom is, like, because she loves her kids, is, like, making excuses for it.
Yeah, that's what happens.
It seems
Right.
like, yeah, he has anxiety. She didn't really say that he has anything, like,
But-
he's not disabled or anything. She didn't really specify anything
Well,
like
that's
that.
kind of what I'm also curious about is, like, is Benji chill? Because sometimes just being a chill dude will, like, affect the vibe of this kind
It's
of scenario.
true.
Because like, here's the thing, right? If Benji is, like,
If he's
not-
helping out around the house with his mom, and
if he's, like, actually helping his mother who's
Yeah.
up in age, and he's, like, not just, like, for lack of better words, like, welfare checking it, you know what I mean? And then his
Right.
brother fucking flips his lid over this shit, it paints it in a different light. You know what I mean?
I don't really know how to feel about it. I think that it's probably fucked up.
I think I think there's no way it's not bad. There's no way it's not bad.
But it could be less bad.
It could be less bad, and it could also, I mean, it's kind of a thing of, like, if it's bad on Mom and Benji, then the brother is, like, fine anyway. You know, like, that sucks, but, like, he did the right thing. Stop talking to him, move on with your life. you know.
I have some comments.
Okay.
Okay. Top comment is really good. It just says, "You're the asshole. Your relationship does sound emotionally incestuous.
Mm-hmm.
You have likely lost Jack, but you don't care as long as you have Benji."
That is also a good
Yeah.
point, yeah. She said, there was a thing in there she said where it was like, she said like not true about playing favorites or something like that, was like between the two kids, and it's like,
Yeah,
that's not, you saying not true is not
And
true.
yeah, that's a great point. It's like her entire instance and the way she ordered the entire thing is like attacking one son while defending the other.
That is a great point.
And it's like, so this is not a case of you care about all of your children and you just think this is the fair thing to do. It's
Right.
like, no,
There's a preference here.
You
She's
are
almost-
playing favorites.
She's almost punishing Jack for leaving her and becoming successful. Like, why didn't he
Yeah.
just stay with me and take care of me either? Why did he go on and get married? She doesn't say it like that. Like, she
Right.
says, like, oh, he's found success and stuff. But it's giving, like, mom is too attached to son. 10K is what she's going to give to Jack.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I wonder how much more is
Right.
everything else she said
Like,
worth.
I'm
because
betting, like,
all of her
40K.
assets, both
Right.
cash and property.
I'm betting 40K
Property
at
is
least in the
crazy.
bank.
So I'm like, cash
Well,
and
like the house and
like does
everything?
it mean just the house, or does she have properties?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
How nice is the house?
it could really
is it sitting
depend.
on
Like, this
1
could be
acre?
like,
Is it
oh, I
sitting
have
on
a.
40?
She could be like, I have $50,000 when I die.
Right.
What do I do with it? 40 to him, 10 to him.
Right.
But it doesn't really feel like, it feels more
Like,
the way she
here's
says
$500,000
property. Like, she
worth
doesn't
of
say
assets,
she
and
doesn't
here's
say
10K.
Right.
both my cash and my house. She
Right.
says cash and properties,
Right.
which I think is interesting. This one is from somebody who's basically saying that they were Jack, like,
Right.
in a dynamic. So it says, "Mom, is that you? If so, you coddled Benji no matter how many times he fucked up. He never tried because he knew you would give him anything he asked for. You never gave me, Jack, that grace. You expected me to find my own way while you knocked down every obstacle for him because he was your precious child. It's not the money. It's that once again you blatantly show you don't give a shit. Benji is gonna blow through that cash on drugs and God knows what else in weeks.
Drugs is crazy.
Your house, yeah, I know. Your house will be foreclosed on, but you still have to do it anyway. Oh, by the way, you're the asshole."
One thing I also thought about was like, can Benji manage that? You know what I mean? Like,
Almost certainly not.
right.
Almost certainly not.
So
Right.
she did respond to one comment, at least that I can see just right off the bat. Somebody says, "Info, does Benji have any diagnosed mental or physical conditions that prevent him from working?" She says, "After the second time he left university, I suspected that he has some form of high-functioning autism or Asperger's, as he always has struggled with social situations and does not come into friendships as easily as Jack does. He has worked in the past, but in both roles he left about a year, which he told me was due to management bullying him." I haven't... Yeah, that got 657 downloads.
That, the manager's bullying you thing is like, that paints it a little more clearly. Like, that is kind of the context I was waiting for, of like, what's Benji's vibe?
I really can't get over choosing to remain a neat so he can suckle on Mummy's teat.
That I want as a bumper
Mummies.
sticker. I'm gonna get that tattooed.
So,
But
she's
he's
the
a
asshole.
full-time Redditor.
So she's the asshole. That's an easy one.
I would say so.
That wasn't that
Yeah.
hard. Okay, guys, we're flying through it.
Forgot that was supposed to be the easy one.
I know, that's the easy one. All right, who's
My-
ready?
My green is 3 French hens. Anyway, yeah, I'm ready.
Am I the asshole for threatening to kick out my niece after she hacked my daughter's Roblox account?
Red flag.
You support the hacking?
No, red flag the niece.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we definitely need more info on
Yeah.
this situation.
My 38 female daughter, 13 female, has been playing this game called Roblox since lockdown first started as a way of playing with her friends virtually and curing her boredom.
Real
She's
shit.
obsessed with this game that's set in a school because it allows her to connect with her friends and she missed them so much. Her interest in video games has developed into an interest in technology. She's far at the top of her IT class and has even started learning how to code in order to make her own game.
At
Very
13, that's cool.
Did the same thing at that age with Roblox. My sister, 34 female, and my niece, 10 female. Very similar age, but the niece is 10,
Right.
daughter's 13. My sister and niece have recently had to move in with us after my sister discovered that her husband was having an affair. They're staying at my house for the time being while she saves up money to get a place of her own. My niece and daughter usually get along and they bond over their interest in Roblox. Last week my daughter was completely distraught and crying nonstop. She said that she saw her cousin playing on a Roblox game and realized her cousin's avatar had a lot more items than usual. She decided to join her only to realize that her account had been hacked and she'd lost nearly every item she had in her favorite game. She'd lost 800k of the in-game currency in her entire inventory, which she said was over $5 million of in-game currency. She had spent 4 years saving up for those items and everything was gone just like that. My daughter began accusing my niece of hacking the account. My niece denied it at first, but quickly broke under pressure and admitted everything. Well, she is 10, so
Right.
I don't really know why you tried to fucking turn the screws to her.
Interrogator,
But
yeah.
the previous day when they
Did you
had
get
been
a
playing... For the previous day where they had been playing the game together when I sat them down for dinner. My niece has only been playing for a few months, and I suppose she would be considered a noob. She begged my daughter give her some of her items, and when my daughter refused, saying that she could earn the items by herself, my niece decided to stay behind and transfer all of my daughter's items into her account. I tried to mediate the situation, but my sister is refusing to cooperate. She said it's just a game, it's not like my daughter spent money on it. I attempted to explain how much this game means to my daughter, to which my sister said my daughter should count herself lucky that her biggest problem is a bunch of pixels on a screen. She said my daughter's a teenager now and is too old to be acting immature like this over a game. My niece refuses to give my daughter her stuff back and says it's unfair that my daughter gets to have everything she wants in real life and online. I told my sister and niece that both of them were acting like ungrateful brats, considering how I was letting them stay in my home rent-free. Today I gave her an ultimatum. If my niece doesn't return everything she hacked for my daughter, they would have 1 week to leave. I told her I refuse to let anyone disrespect my daughter under my roof. Am I the asshole?
I was real skeptical
Preach.
until the mom did that shit. That's
Preach.
where it cut off for me. Because here's the
Well,
thing.
even the mom out of it, it's like, you're in my house
Well,
with
no.
my daughter.
Here's the thing, right? I do get that sentiment, but it's also like they're fleeing a divorce and have nowhere to go. Did I hear that right?
Correct.
Okay.
An
Like,
affair.
here's the thing. Like, I get being like, you're in my fucking house, like, be respectful. But also, if you kick a motherfucker out over Roblox and they are on the street now, you're a dick. Like, I don't care what the fuck happened. in
Return
your
the
house.
shit. Like,
Well,
Just
yeah.
give it back.
Well,
Yeah.
and that's what I was saying. It's like, when it was just a 13 and a 10-year-old having a squabble, it's like, yeah, just give the shit back. Or even if they fucking, like, tell them to give the shit back and then it fucking handles itself over time. Because they're kids, right?
Yeah.
But the second the mom was like, it's unfair that you get to, like, be happy when I'm not, that's what's fucked up.
Yeah. There's a comment that says, not the asshole. I am so glad that you understand the value of time and effort your daughter has put into this and the value of that to her. Compare it to stealing a collection of crafted items someone had made that they felt was precious to them, that they spent time and effort putting together. If your sister can't respect your daughter's time and effort, then she can leave your home.
Right. And
yeah.
I do feel like I actually had this happen to me once.
Right, that's what I was thinking about.
Yeah. Where I was on the other end. I was the one with the Roblox account originally.
Yeah.
And I had a save game of Revenge of the Sith for the original Xbox that my cousin, who was also a malicious twat, fully knew what he was doing, went in and he deleted the save game. And it pissed me off so bad that I cried. And what happened was my cousin, so my uncle, came, picked him up. He was in very obvious trouble. He, like, got shouted at in the driveway, and then they, like, brought him home from sleepover. But my issue still there is, like, you know, there was a home for him to go to. But also the difference is that it's not like my uncle there was like, fuck your save game.
Well, how
You
about
know
you
what I
have a
mean?
set of balls and make your fucking 10-year-old give the
Literally.
shit back?
See, that's
She's
the thing.
10! You're
Exactly.
34 years old as the mom.
Right. The mom is the issue.
Yeah.
Like,
The 10-year-old is a fucking 10-year-old.
Right.
She's gonna do what she wants to
Gonna
do.
do some dumb
This
shit.
comment I
Oops.
really love. Sorry, go ahead.
I would say, for me personally, it's something of like, them being in a bad situation does not give them any credit to me. It's like, I
Not
understand helping you
Not
in
in
a bad
this situation.
right, not in
But
this
I have to
situation.
protect my family's peace and happiness
Well,
too.
I agree with that because the mom's an asshole. You know what I mean?
If it was just like, yeah, the
if it was-
little girl being a brat.
Even
Right.
if it was just the little girl, now if it was like a one-time thing, then like, you know,
Right.
whatever. But if the little girl is consistently like causing issues for my daughter, like that's gotta
Right.
stop. Like
Right.
Yeah, and
one
if you
way
as
or
a
another,
parent can't control that.
there's gonna be
Right.
an end
Yeah.
to that.
That's true.
This person says, I want to know what your guys' thoughts are on this comment, because this is a lot, okay? Your sister's child stole. She stole from her cousin, who treats her with grace and shares her game. She lies about it, and her mother tried to minimize the bad behavior and blaming your daughter for having more and being too old for the game. Isn't lying and cheating why she's in your house with her child? Why is she teaching her daughter to behave like the father she left for lying and cheating? She needs to go back to her house and deal with her daughter and her husband.
That's crazy.
And it says YWNBTA, which I mean, it probably means you would never be the asshole. I think is what that means, but I've never seen that before.
That's
How do
interesting.
we feel about a set change?
I feel great about a set change.
Okay, let's do it.
I'm getting torn alive.
Understandable.
I'm itchy as hell. So we moved.
This guy's itchy as hell.
So many gnats, and I love my blood.
So do we have a final verdict on the Roblox situation at all?
It's not that mom's. She's fine. Not the asshole.
The mom, and the sister and the niece are the assholes.
Yeah, especially the sister.
Update.
Update.
I said the thing.
Yay.
It's crazy.
Thank you all for your
Get ready
advice.
to change your opinion.
I'm so ready.
Okay, wait, hold
the
on.
niece killed my daughter.
This was only like a couple weeks later.
Okay.
Thank you all for your advice. My sister and niece moved out last week. She's in the process of getting an apartment and they're temporarily staying with a friend of my sister's for the time being. I warned her that if I contacted the developers, they would get her daughter banned, so either way my niece wasn't keeping the stuff she stole, so she should try to minimize her losses. She claimed I had no proof her daughter hacked the account and refused to She claimed I had no proof her daughter hacked the account and refused to compromise. She said I was petty and childish for making them homeless over a kid's video game. And don't get me wrong, I feel bad, I really do. My sister and I never got along as kids, so I was hoping our kids could have a good relationship with each other. But still, they were going to leave at some point, so I guess I just sped up the process. Now that my niece is gone, my daughter seems happier. She told me she was fine, but I knew her well enough to know that she wasn't. Some very kind and generous people here have offered to gift her items to rebuild her account, to which I am extremely grateful, but my daughter said she felt bad about taking stuff from other people. I'd already reported my niece's account, which seemed to have no effect.
Mer daughter.
I know, right?
Mer daughter.
Yeah, real.
Holy shit.
I'm not very tech savvy, but I considered contacting the developers to see if they could reverse the transaction. However, my daughter informed her that doing so could also ban her account. I would like to extend my thanks to the people that suggested I try to log into my niece's account. Believe it or not, it only took 5 attempts. Turns out 10-year-olds don't have the best comprehension of internet security. Getting into the account was the easy part. I spent an embarrassingly long amount of time looking up how to trade everything back. I swear I'm getting old. So she transferred everything my niece had just to be safe because she couldn't tell which items were her daughter's and were her niece's. When she came home from school today, I told my daughter I had a fun surprise waiting for her on Roblox. Words couldn't describe how proud of myself I felt when I saw the joy rush into her face. The ironic part is my niece had previously won this sort of very rare Halo item from some lottery system. Now it was transferred to my daughter's account, meaning that my daughter walked out of the situation richer than she was to start with. My niece messaged me in all caps, yelling at me that my niece has been through so much and I was just kicking her when she was down. She accused me from stealing from a little girl. I told her simply in her own words, it's a bunch of pixels on a screen.
Also, the little girl stole from a little girl. Like,
top comment on the update is not the asshole, obviously, but your daughter needs better security on her account.
yeah, this is also true.
Your sister really chose moving out over making her daughter give the items back? That's crazy. Also crazy.
I want to hear more about this sister.
I know.
Because it's like, I mean, it's not always a thing of like the child's actions.
My anxiety levels.
Real. I just know that she sucks, is what I'm getting at. And that they also already didn't get along as kids. Like, that alone is massive. Like,
Alright, next story. Am I the asshole for imposing my culture, even though I thought I was just being nice?
well, this could go a lot of ways. This could go a lot of ways.
Even though I, 23 female, am American, my parents are immigrants and therefore have a different I have a different cultural upbringing than most. One thing that was hammered into my head from a young age was to always bring a small gift when visiting to anyone's house. It doesn't matter if it's family or friends or somebody you kind of know but don't really like. Bringing something is a must. My boyfriend, 28, age gap, and I have been dating for almost 4 years now.
Red flag.
Oh, she was 19. Okay. And since we both work from home, he suggested we make parents. Oh my God, we make parents.
Let's make some parents.
I mean, hey, still have time.
We might as well.
Blood in the house.
We make dinner with his parents a weekly thing since we haven't been able to see each other much for obvious reasons. I think it's COVID time. But that doesn't make sense because why are you doing a weekly dinner? Okay, maybe it's something
Get
different.
mad at his parents for not bringing over a small gift.
I love his parents, so I obviously agreed. Every week I made sure to bring something small to show my appreciation for them cooking for us, always using my own money. A bottle of wine, a favorite dessert, some flowers, and they've always thanked me. This has been going on for months and absolutely didn't notice anything out of the ordinary until yesterday when my boyfriend and I were preparing to head over. I'd gotten a cute vase of daffodils since I'd found some in bloom and my boyfriend's mom loves them. But suddenly my boyfriend got really mad and said, why do I keep bringing stuff over every week like his parents were a charity case? Honestly, I got super confused and asked him what the problem was, but because I've done this with everyone, including his friends, since we met, that this is just a cultural thing. Then he got madder and told me to stop imposing my culture on everyone. It's weird because you're white. At that point, I didn't feel like going anywhere with him and just gave him the flowers and went for a walk while he drove over to dinner by himself. After he came home, he still had the flowers, which he gave to me, and he told me he was sorry, but his parents were super annoyed with me bringing stuff over like they can't take care of themselves. And later on, I got a text from his dad asking me not to come over for dinner anymore.
That's fucking crazy.
They've been together for 4 years.
What?
Now,
I'm sorry, what culture is...
They haven't said.
Okay.
So I'm hoping it's in the comments, because I have not pre-read.
There's so many like my family do.
Right. And also,
That's just
it's
a very
literally
common-
looking a gift horse in the mouth. Like, it's literally...
Literally.
Like,
Literally. Okay, hold on.
this is giving
Now my
old
boyfriend...
white, is what this is giving.
Now my boyfriend's giving me the cold shoulder unless I give his parents a huge apology, but I really, really don't think I'm in the wrong for trying to be nice to them. Am I the asshole?
No.
No.
Fucking hell no.
Somebody says, are you
Come
Eastern?
to my house. I'll
Right?
take free gifts.
I know.
Yeah.
Somebody says, are you Eastern European? My family is Latvian, and I so get this. Not the asshole. Sounds like there are bigger problems than just gift giving. Since he's the one who said charity case, maybe he said something to them. How's the rest of your relationship? One thing I want to know, however, many, many Americans, even white ones, grew up with immigrant parents. That is not unique. It is what made America and Canada too.
Yeah.
Hello from up north. It's how I was raised, and it made many of my friends.
Yeah, it's also like, it's not even that, like not in a, like, not to diss, but it's not even that big of like a cultural move. Like
What could he have said to the parents to make the dad text the girlfriend, don't come over for dinner anymore?
That's an insane thing to do over
What
someone
do you
bringing you free fucking alcohol.
Free
Like, that's-
alcohol, desserts, flour. It's not like she's showing up with a fucking like AirPods
Right,
or something.
Right. Or like
A new car!
You get a car, you get a car. There's just two of you because you're just her parents, but you both get a car.
Right.
an air fryer.
Literally.
Okay, first of all, I showed up with an air fryer, so let's not talk about
And
it.
we were very...
So somebody did say, can I ask the cultures at play here? While not all cultures have an always bring gifts
curious
while
about
visiting
this.
facet to them, I have not heard of one where being given gifts is offensive. So I think this person thinks
I
that
have.
he's of a culture.
Fucking old, rich, right, white bitches. It's
Yeah.
that. It's because it's like, if you already have money, that's the only time I've ever seen people be like, fuck you, I don't need your money. You know what I mean?
Right.
Totally. Because they think it's an insult that you would even
Right.
like need to give them anything, or
especially-
like, oh, but we have everything. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Especially in the form of gifts. Like, because
Oh,
I've seen...
you're giving to me?
Right. Because I've seen people...
I give to you.
Exactly.
People.
Exactly. And I've seen people do, like, won't accept money if it's in the form of money. Like, I can see how that could be
Yeah.
offensive, of, like, bring over a fucking check for your parents.
Right.
Yeah.
But not, like, wine. That's, like,
Yeah,
what... What? That's crazy.
This person says, his dad texted you? The father of a nearly 30-year-old man texted you to tell you you are no longer welcome at their home because of basically host gifts? No, not the asshole. This dude and his family
Wait,
suck.
did the dad text her?
Yes!
I thought the dad texted him.
The
to
dad
tell her.
texted her, never come to dinner again.
Oh, can I throw my hat in the
I'm
ring
so
for
ready.
something here? I don't know if this has an update.
She did make a comment
Okay. I don't know if this has...
with some details, so I don't know if you want these first.
If there
Give me
was
your hot take.
If there was an update, I would wonder if it was actually the dad sending that message. Because that's some
Interesting.
shit that would happen in a Reddit story of like the guy just
The
secretly-
dog grabbed the phone and
Well, no, but like the guy was like, I hate bringing this bitch to dinner with my parents. What if I create a ruse
Yeah.
to like make me to like give me an out for this?
That could totally be it.
I could totally see
Because
that.
she said like the parents were always like super.
Yeah,
like,
so they have always had good
appreciative, and,
relationships, yeah.
you know, for him to be that direct after them like at least putting up a front if they
It's
don't
fucking
like it.
weird.
Yeah, it literally says they always thanked me for it.
Right.
Yeah.
Weird. So her comment, to give some more details, says, I'm feeling overwhelmed, just making a quick comment. I sat my boyfriend down after dragging him off of his game. and grilled him about what was happening. But he said I was being crazy when I started all this. And just let us write a text to his parents apologizing. I said no and that we would go over to apologize, but then he started freaking out, which was the final straw.
Oh shit.
He's
Awesome
doing
shit.
He downloaded fucking free text now.
He's doing everything to get me to stay home, but I'm going over and sorting this out and I tried calling anyway, but their number is out of order. Some more
Does this guy
responses.
even have parents?
No, he used free text now. She tried calling the number that texted her.
My parents are from the Caribbean.
Okay. Hers are.
Yes. And
Okay.
he's very American, but his family has never been racist to me.
Okay.
They are
Very American means old and white.
They are very much more well off than me, and the gifts are never expensive since I pay for them on my own, which is why I'm suspicious of them behaving this way. And then she says, I know there's a bit of an age gap, but I pursued the relationship myself because he asked me out casually at work as a frequent customer, and I accepted. That's crazy. Update. I said the thing.
I'll be here all week. I'll be here. I just know. I already know. I can feel it.
I'm so excited.
I hope it writes so bad.
I think so.
After my last update, I told my boyfriend I was sick and tired of him dancing around the issue with his parents, and I was going to go over to their house whether he liked it or not. At this point, I think he realized that whatever he was doing had backfired, so he sat down angry and told me he'd explain. I sat and he told me he'd done something very spur of the moment and texted me from his dad's phone, then blocked my number, but begged me to listen. We're coming at you in 3D, baby! Hypercam 3D in 2020!
Spy Kids 3D! Relationship over.
That he just needed to get his parents off me for a while and to not leave. Apparently, my parents had started hinting him about marriage since my boyfriend and I talked a lot about it. I fully expected to marry him, as I said in another comment, and was honestly expecting a proposal in the late spring, since that's when we met. 4 years of dating didn't bother me, but I was getting excited to settle down. However, my boyfriend apparently realized he didn't want to commit to anything, wanted to experiment and have fun because I wasn't fun anymore. That's crazy.
Do I even need to say red flag?
Honestly, that just made me cry because we were each other's first for everything, and we were very good at communicating our needs. His grand plan was to get him mad.
For years.
His grand plan was to get him mad at me so I would beg for forgiveness, and then he only accepted open relationship as an answer. Brilliant plan, I know.
Oh, what a
I've been cheating for years.
It's so bad.
cheating for years.
He'd made up his parents getting mad, but didn't expect me to blow off dinner and
24
completely.
when they first started dating. That motherfucker was not a virgin.
Oh my god, this is crazy. He'd
You
made
lie
up.
about that shit.
He'd made up his parents getting mad, but didn't expect me to blow off dinner completely and said it was like hitting a jackpot. He went over for dinner, hid the flowers, and said we'd got into a huge fight, but he would fix it all and I needed space. After he confessed all this, he said he was sorry, but doesn't want to miss out on new experiences when he is still young, 28, and what I consider an open relationship, but pretend ours was strained with his parents so they wouldn't get suspicious. This is what he asks her after he admits everything. And I laughed. I laughed his ass right out the door, and I told him absolutely not and to leave me alone while I pack because I want to have some new experiences too. He never stopped begging me to stay, but I left to sleep at a friend's. After calming down, I cemented the breakup and finally went over to his parents. My ex-boyfriend's dad never even noticed his phone was missing, but still apologized. His mom was a mess. I did and still love them and will eat dinner there without them as often as I can. Without him as often as I can. I won't lie that I'm sad about 4 years down the drain, but that's life.
Damn. You know shit's
That's
bad.
crazy!
You know this shit's bad when you're in a breakup and the person you broke up with is like still at your parents' house. That's when shit is fucked.
I love this comment. I want to know a lot more about this person just because of this comment. Well, isn't that some impressive arse foolery? If that's your
That's
ex's,
my mom. That's what she said.
if that's your ex's idea of a cunning plan, I'd hate to see his badly thought out flops. Eesh.
I love her. I love that person.
I think that is your mom.
That sounds just like
Oh,
your
God,
mom.
That's
that's
your mom's
funny.
right
Eesh is crazy.
That's funny. Okay. Next story. Oh my god!
Also, this chair's falling apart.
It's fine.
Is
Just
it?
don't.
Oh.
Okay, just don't worry about that. Am I the asshole for not listening to my wife and eating the wrong cookie?
What do you mean
Wait,
by
hold on.
that?
Is it gonna be an edible? Well,
What do
okay.
you mean by that?
no way he phrases that like that in this post. If he does, that's awesome. I think it's probably going to be like an edible. That's my guess.
I don't even know. I don't know yet.
It's gotta be like she made like a cookie
special
for
ass
someone,
cookie, yeah.
and he ate it when he like meant to eat like the regular like oatmeal cookie,
Yeah.
and he ate like the super chocolate fun time cookie.
Or it's gonna be kind of like the Roblox Revenge of the Sith situation, where she was like, "Don't eat this one fucking cookie.
It was
All
like
the
a-
other
it was
cookies."
like a fucking Garden of Eden type
Right.
situation.
It's like you can have all the cookies, but this cookie gives you the knowledge of good and evil.
Either
Can't have
that,
this
or
one.
there's like a specific kind of cookie that gives him like really bad gas.
I
Some
just
shit.
read something.
Okay, let's do it. Let's do it.
Roll the footage.
You can pull that video up.
I worked a 10-hour shift yesterday and had little to eat but bubblegum and some cheap hot chocolate.
Alright.
I came home to a voice message where my wife had picked up a cookie from me from the local bakery and another specific cookie for our young daughter,
I knew it'd be some shit like
which
that.
she should have when she comes home from school. Overjoyed, partially because I was hungry and partially because my wife and I have been at odds for a bit and I thought this was an olive branch of sorts. I looked into the cookie box.
I love a character you've given this guy.
One of the two cookies inside was definitely the one for my daughter due to its description, so I ate the other one. It wasn't quite what she had said it would be, but I didn't want to be picky. A few hours later, my wife pours herself a glass of milk after dinner and goes to the cookie box. She mutters something under her breath, pours her milk back into the jug. What? Wait, what?
What? Hold on. You really started. You were speeding past that.
Time looped it. Just
Hate that bitch. Fucking always eating the wrong ass cookie.
so, but also, if she got a cookie for her daughter and her husband, why is she pouring milk for
I think she
herself?
just wanted milk. It was just too pissed.
Alright, Luckins.
Alright.
Pours her milk back into the jug and flops down on the couch. I asked what was the matter and she informs me that I never listen, and I ate her cookie. I told her I had only eaten the other cookie in the box that wasn't our daughter's, and my wife lets me know that my cookie was separate in a bag under the cookie box, and that I should have listened better, but she wasn't surprised.
Okay, but wait. So that cookie's still there.
Right.
So she should just eat that cookie.
But it's different.
Okay, hold on, listen.
It's not the same cookie.
That's true. It is not the same cookie.
I asked her what kind of cookie I had eaten, and I told her I'd just go buy her another one. She refused to tell me and merely repeated that I should have known that it wasn't my cookie based on her description. The cookie I ate was white with brown icing. Apparently, she bought me a toffee chocolate chip cookie. Am I the asshole for not paying attention and eating the wrong cookie, or is she blowing this out of proportion? Edit! Since it's come up a few times, I'm going to add a couple pieces of information.
Okay.
Yes, I do have a hard time paying attention. I have ADHD and I'm working on it. Yes, not eating all day is my fault. It was 2 days before payday and we had nothing in the house for me to take. I had $1 worth of change in my cup holder and a pack of gum. I did what I could.
Really?
No, she didn't mention that my cookie was separate. She told me my cookie was in our bread bag, which is a bag where we keep bread and other things we want to keep mice and bugs out of.
Okay.
She described the cookie as a toffee chocolate chip cookie. I looked in the bag, found the box from the bakery, and it had 2 cookies in it. One of them was decorated like the night sky and is what she said she had purchased for our daughter. There was only one other visible cookie. No, I can't prove this unless someone can instruct me how to download voice messages and post them here.
I'll be honest.
Divorce.
I
I really can't get over the milk of it all.
True, and I didn't think to do it, but I did get a red flag when she like flopped into the couch.
Right, like you're not even
Yeah.
going to be like, hey, you ate my cookie.
Because
Well, and her like
Why don't you just
refusing to
communicate?
tell him what kind of cookie she got so he could get
And-
her another one.
And also, yeah,
You know, just like I knew you wouldn't pay attention. And
there's so much shit.
blah, blah.
And it's like if you know you have ADHD, then like people are gonna be a little used to this to some degree. You know, it's like
Right.
you guys know my ass is gonna be forgetting shit all the time, and especially if you position in a way where it's like there are 2 cookies. You know what I mean? Because if
Yeah.
I'm remembering correctly, she didn't say there were 3 cookies.
No, she didn't.
She
Let me
never
go look.
mentioned her own
I'm
cookie.
gonna look again.
She said she
There's
got
a cookie
him a
for me,
cookie
and
and one
her-
for
My
the
wife
daughter.
had picked up a cookie for me from the local bakery and another specific cookie for our young daughter, which she could have when she came home from school.
Right. No.
I looked into the cookie box and one of the... So here's the interesting thing. He says he looked into the cookie box and she said that she specifically told him it was in the bag under the
That's
box.
another thing.
That's
I promise you, I guarantee you that she got his cookie from somewhere else. She got
Yeah.
him like a shitty Walmart cookie.
Wouldn't shock me.
Because
Yeah.
theirs was in a box and his was in like a paper
She
bag.
said she put it in the bag that they put stuff
In
that
a
they don't
No,
have
but
rice
like
to
what
get
it
on.
was in, it said
Oh
it was
yeah,
like
she
in
said
like a paper
it
bag
says in a
under
bag
the
under the
box.
cookie box, and I should have listened better, and that she wasn't surprised. So okay, so I will say he was voted as the asshole. So I don't know if he did respond.
He was voted as the
Yes.
asshole?
I don't know about that, man.
I'm gonna keep looking through the comments because he may have replied to some comments because it
My-
takes like 24 hours before it locks in. Like, are
Right.
you the asshole? Or are you not?
My
So-
thing is just, you presented a circumstance with 2 cookies, and I followed your orders to not eat the one that's my daughter's.
Right.
Okay, I'm gonna read you a 3-comment thread. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And he offered to buy her another one.
Right.
In what
Yeah.
scenario
I
is he
know.
the asshole?
Right.
This doesn't sound like a cookie problem. It sounds like it's a problem with you not listening. And then they quoted him, and he said, "It wasn't quite what she said it would be, but I didn't want to be picky. If she gave you a description detailed enough to feel like the one you were eating was not the one she described to you, you did listen enough. You just didn't give a fuck. You realized something was off and shrugged it off because it was the path of least work for you. You're the asshole only because you did listen enough. You just didn't care."
It's a white bitch then.
Here's the
It's
thing.
Dangerous Chart 526.
Dangerous shark?
Dangerous chart.
Oh.
Dangerous chart. Dangerous chart. Chart.
Here's my thing, right?
There's really quick.
Okay.
Somebody says it sounds like OP has a long-standing habit of listening, but not doing what was said or cutting corners. Wouldn't part of the wife's message be where his cookie was? He just heard cookie, was hungry, and grabbed what was there. And then somebody else says the fact that he mentioned it was an olive branch says that this is about more than a cookie. So here's my thing.
Mm-hmm.
He says that they've had a falling out or whatever.
So they
this is
were
an
at
olive
odds.
branch. They're at
Right.
odds, and then during this interaction, she just she gets pissed off, and then she's like, "Fuck it," pours it back in, closes it, and just goes and sits down on the couch. She might have just sat down. And he's just saying, well, she slumped down on the couch because I fucking did something wrong again because we're at
Oh,
odds.
that's a good
Do you know what I
point.
mean? Like, it
The
could have
tone
just
could
genuinely
be
be
there.
that she was like, I'm so sick of dealing with this, I'm just going to put this away and go sit down.
I could see that. It's hard to
Because
tell.
if they've been at odds, he maybe just doesn't fucking listen ever. I'm just playing devil's
Right,
advocate.
right.
I'm going to keep looking through the comments. that you guys
I feel like if it was more of that, we would catch more of the vitriol in the text. But, I mean, who's to say? But it's also a thing of, like, if that was
I
the
still can't
goal...
get past he was like, "I'll go buy you another one," and
Right.
she just refused to elaborate or anything.
Well, here's my thing, right? If that was what she was doing, I can understand the frustration she has of him not listening. This is not the fucking way to go about it. Like, if you're having an issue with, like, your partner being, like, constantly cutting corners and stuff like that, and that's all it is, it's just like, you know, you'll be like, hey, can you do X or Y for me? And then it comes out like shit. You know what I mean? Because he didn't, like, fully pay attention. Talk to them about that. Don't go on the fucking cookie adventures. Like, what is happening here?
And then, even like the not paying attention thing, that's a mistake I would absolutely make
Yeah.
in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this doesn't look like a toffee chocolate chip, but also like, I don't know what the fuck a toffee chocolate chip
Right.
looks like. Maybe this is just
That is also some shit.
some
That
fancy,
is some like peak like middle-aged dude shit of like, I have a frappuccino in the fridge. Don't drink that. Eat the or drink the latte. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's like
So
Like-
I reread while you guys were talking, and I found something that I think is what, because I cannot find a single comment saying he's not the asshole.
interesting.
I think this is what people are really hinging on. So he says that she sent him the voice message,
Uh-huh.
and then he did what he did, and then she says, my wife lets me know that my cookie was separate, and I should have listened better, but she wasn't surprised. That to me tells me she said in the voice message, yours is in a bag under the box,
Okay.
and he just didn't listen to that.
So he said that she said it was separate, because I thought he said that she didn't say that she ever
It doesn't
got
say
it.
that. It just says a voice message where my wife had picked up a cookie for me for the local bakery and another cookie for our young daughter, which she got when she came home from school. So we don't really know exactly what the voice message said. But then the wife says, your cookie is separate in a bag under the cookie box. You should have listened better, but I'm not surprised. So now I'm like, okay, did she say, hey, I got you a toffee chocolate chip cookie. It's in a bag underneath the box on the counter?
Mhm.
and then that's the whole voice message, and he just heard, I got you a cookie, and said, fuck it, and I'll eat a cookie.
Right.
I feel very mixed about this one. I sense that there's a lot going on in this marriage.
I wish I could
That's my
hear
sense.
her end of it, because not necessarily because I agree with her actions from what I can tell, but the problem is that I cannot tell if this is a reliable narrator or not. You know what I mean? Like, if it's like, right now in this moment, I'm waffling between I don't like the wife and I don't like either of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was 31 days ago, and there is no update. And it
Yeah.
doesn't look like he responded to any comments, at least from the ones I'm searching through. I'm looking through, like, the top few. You're the asshole. There is no way her message included a description of the cookie, but no mention of it being
I
in the
also
bag
see
or
him
where it is on the
being
counter.
Bad at trying to explain all of this.
Right.
That's true, yeah. And also, right. I think what I ultimately come back to with this is just like, fucking talk to your spouse, man.
Wait, oh my god, there is a description. Please tell us the exact wording of your wife's voicemail. Just rephrasing your understanding of the message, especially in the context of being accused of not listening, makes me think you're the asshole, okay? He has the transcript of the voice message right
Okay.
here, okay?
This is important. This is new evidence.
You have 4 chocolate-covered strawberries in the fridge from Chloe's, and a toffee chocolate chip cookie from Chloe's in the second bread bag. Evelyn has 3 chocolate-covered strawberries and a cosmic cookie. She can have the strawberries or the cosmic cookie for the snack, not both. If she doesn't want the cookie, that's fine. Calvin can have it for snack tomorrow. 201 downloads. Tiggy Winkle says, this is extremely clear. That level of detail should have raised a red flag for you when the cookie you saw did not match the description of everything.
And
Toffee chocolate chip cookie, and he said he ate a white cookie.
for me,
With
it's
brown frosting, which could be toffee frosting.
well. My thing is, now the math is adding
This
up
is
for me.
complicated.
Because now it's the thing I was hinting on is with my own experience with ADHD. You think about the shit like numbers before you remember the details, like what fucking cookie it is or where it is. Like
I'd be like,
I see-
second bread bag,
Right.
cookie,
Right.
that's not my daughter's
Right.
cookie.
I think this is
She only ever mentioned 2
I think
cookies.
this is a really, really poor
description.
communication.
Yeah, that's what it's ultimately.
I think that
back
their
to.
marriage is falling the fuck apart in so many other ways that she was just like, of course he ate my fucking cookie, whatever,
Yeah.
and she just sat down and
That's
he was
what it's
like,
giving.
he was like, oh, and now you're
You know-
doing this. I'm gonna get down, but not the asshole. Why would she hide your cookie in a bag under the box of cookies instead of just putting it on top for you? Why was your cookie packaged separately? It's silly
Why
she
didn't
describes
say there
the
was
cookie
a third cookie?
instead of just saying yours is in the bag. You were set up to fail. You tried to correct the problem, but then she pouted.
Right.
Somebody says,
That's
seriously.
the other big thing for me, is that
Yeah.
he did try, like, offer
Right.
a solution, and she just refused.
Right.
And to me, that's like, okay, there is a problem, and he has made an effort to work on
Right.
that problem, and you have shut that down.
The
Right.
person who responded to that has a comment that I think is really good. Seriously, why was his cookie under the box in the first place? Easiest solution, especially if your partner has a history of being distracted. Hey, your cookie is in the bag on top of the box. Rather than, let me give you a detailed description of these very similar baked goods and then hide the one I want you to eat in a separate container that
Yeah.
I'm not going to mention underneath the other 2, and then I'm going to get pissed when you take the wrong one. Not the asshole. Seemed like this was done on purpose to test him.
It
Yeah,
does
that's
seem like
the other
bait.
thing. It's for sure bait.
Somebody
That's-
says, I was wondering this as well. She separated his cookie and hid it under the box, but didn't tell him that it was separate. Only for him.
Or that there was
Only
a
told
third
him not to eat the one for their daughter. Sounds like she was
Right.
manufacturing a fight and the chance to accuse
It's-
him of not listening. I think it's called,
entrapment. It's entrapment.
what's it called? It's like, I forget how they call it, but it's like everyone's an ass. Like, I forget what the abbreviation that they use.
Right.
But it's like all assholes detected or something
Right,
like
exactly. And it's
that.
like,
Full ass.
and it's clearly like they have so much other shit that is wrong in their marriage for this to be the thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
Next,
feel bad for the kids. That's where I'm at.
Yeah. Real.
next story.
Okay.
This is from am I the asshole _ relationships. So it's funny that you earlier mentioned text now, or text me or whatever you said,
Yeah.
because our story now is called Am I the asshole for getting mad at a woman for texting me from a Google Voice number?
Depending on what the text was, yes. No. Not the ad.
I, 49 male, matched with a woman named Lady, 25 female, on a dating app. We started talking and it seemed like we were getting along really well. After a couple of days I asked her for her phone number, she gave it to me and we started talking from there. We've been talking for a few days now. Earlier tonight we were talking and I decided to try to call her. When she did, I realized that the number she gave me was a Google Voice number. I texted her back and said, Google Voice, you can't be serious. She texted back asking what I meant. I said, why would you give me a fake-ass Google Voice number? I don't have time for games and I don't like wasting my time. She replied back and said, it's a phone number, what's the difference? I replied and said, it's not a real number. She replied and said, so? I replied to her, hit me up when you're serious. And she said, it's not a big deal, but okay. A couple of minutes later, she texted me again and said, hey, insert name here, I'm really disappointed about how you reacted to me texting you from a Google Voice number. Your anger about it was a huge red flag for me. It showed a lack of trust and a level of control that I'm not comfortable with at this early stage. A simple conversation about it would have been fine, but your reaction made it clear we're not on the same page. I was genuinely interested in getting to know you, but this has completely changed my perspective. I'm no longer interested in pursuing anything romantic. I wish you all the best. I replied back and said, baby, I can't take you seriously communicating through a fake number. I give you a real number, so I expect the same from you.
I can't take you seriously.
To this woman that's half his age. He's 50, she's 25.
Did he say Betty or baby?
Baby.
Yeah.
Oh,
he said
fucking
baby.
God.
Oh, is that what I said? Did you think I said Betty?
I thought you said Betty.
Oh, no, he goes, baby, I can't take you serious communicating through a fake number. I gave you a real number, so I expect the same
This
from
dude
you.
needs to go back to the fucking retirement home.
Literally.
All I can
Oh, he's on Reddit. Just because.
Women play too many games over the phone and through the internet. I'm not interested in wasting my time or effort with someone I don't even know is real. I need proof that you're real or it's pointless. She responded and said, I said what I said. Which is such
also,
a
wait,
slay.
how did they meet again?
On Tinder.
Oh, okay.
On a dating app.
Okay.
Her name is Lady.
That's a nice name.
Yeah.
Like Bird.
I replied back and said, okay, I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings, but I won't waste any more time. Have a great rest of your year. And she responded, I'm not hurt at all. Plenty more where you came from. Obviously, I dodged a bullet.
Damn.
I replied and said, wow, okay. And she replied back with, okay. Now I'm wondering if I could have handled things differently and if it was really worth getting upset about it. So I need some
now
outside
you're
opinions.
Now you're one.
Am I the asshole?
Yes. It's like, it's so perfectly justifiable to be like, because
Yeah.
you're twice my age. I'm gonna be a little cautious.
Like, here's the
you
thing.
know?
I can get the initial suspicion of, like, you know, I don't want to be catfished or, you know, that sort of thing. But, like, that is not at all
I'm loving the top comment.
situation.
The top comment says, you're the asshole. Connecting with random people through dating apps is a risk. You don't know what's happened to her in the past. The way you jump to attacking her instead of asking is a red flag.
Yeah.
The way you went straight to an accusation is also a red flag. The line, baby, I can't take you serious, gave me the fastest ick ever. It's good that you thought to question how you reacted because, yeah, you are a definite seeping a-hole.
What I am really curious about is why this lady was wanting to be with a dude twice her age.
That is crazy.
Daddy issues.
You know, sometimes...
It's
Or money.
daddy issues, money, or this dude is like the hottest silver fox.
He's not.
He's not.
He's not.
He's on Reddit.
He's not.
People can be hot and
Okay.
retarded.
That's actually a great point.
Somebody says, when you created your Reddit profile, why didn't you make it your full name? Is it because maybe, just maybe, strangers you meet online aren't trustworthy and you would like to protect yourself? That's why she did it. How would a real phone number prove she's real? Genuinely, what would it prove to you? What peace of mind would be achieved if you had a real phone number? Somebody says, Civil Wing 1683 isn't a real name? How dare he waste our time playing games?
Literally. It's kind of giving, like, when people, like, when people act like they've been...
The thermostat.
Right. It's like when people get, like, fucked up, like they're being catfished because, like, a woman showed up without her makeup. That's what it's, like, giving. You know what I mean? It's like, you look so good in your profile picture, why are you fucking ugly now?
Or like a woman that's like really skinny and she's like, I don't know, eating like a Snickers bar or something.
Right.
It's like,
And
you're
it's like,
eating a Snickers bar?
Excuse me? That's not what I signed
You're
up for.
eating
This is interesting.
junk food?
OP, how did you find out it was a Google Voice number? You can call and text a Google Voice number and it will not tell you it's an internet number. So you looked her up and tried to use her phone number to search for more information about her. You seriously are exactly why women get spoofed numbers for dating. So men they barely know can't look them up and find their information.
That's what it felt like. Yeah, it felt like I'm pissed my snooping didn't work.
Somebody says you're the reason she has this. You're the reason she has a number. You specifically are the reason women do this.
Reddit hacker, and
Yeah.
she befuddled me, and that is not
This
cool.
vexes me.
She's taking precautions because you're her dad's age and inherently kind of a weirdo for hitting her up to begin with, as would anyone with common sense. Also, if you aren't interested in wasting your time, why not date someone age appropriate? 25-year-olds are hanging out with you hoping to financially benefit, period. They're not trying to build anything real with you.
Yeah.
Okay, so a lot of times in stories like this, like, I try not to get caught in the trap of, like, the age gap and everything, because, like,
There are
women
those
that are in their
stereotypes.
20s are people and adults
Yeah.
that are capable of having real relationships with any other adult. Like, they are not, like, weak little victims of some old man that's just gonna come along and take them and stuff. Like,
Right.
they're women, they're fine. So I try not to really talk about the age gap in situations like this, but that's important. Wasting your time. I don't want to waste my time. You're 49 going after a 25-year-old. Like, what do you mean what do you mean I don't want to waste my time? You're
Right.
wasting your time.
And also, like, I don't know. That makes me wonder how many other times this has happened.
To who?
Him.
Yeah.
Where it's like, because he doesn't, I don't know.
Like Google Voice specifically?
Well, just like shit like this of like, he is a creeper to people and then they pick up on that because he's effectively bad at it. And then dunk on him. And then he gets pissed about it. He's like, I'm sick of wasting my time scamming and snooping on people, and then they find out about it.
I love this comment by Bob the Inept that says, and this is why we use Google Voice numbers. You're the asshole, and you're the reason why women choose the bear.
Yeah, real shit.
Women play too many games over the phone and through the internet. Yeah, it's called staying alive.
Yeah.
The way you win is by not giving random people you meet online your personal information after talking to them for 2 days. Okay. 49M, match with a woman on a dating app. Dude, I'm 44 and I don't aim that low. You know why you were after Young Guns, you shallow
Real. What do you think is the worst asshole out of the group?
Yeah, who would you rank as number one asshole?
I would say
It's definitely the
I think it's the ex.
dude who, the
Yeah.
ex.
Yeah.
and the
Oh, there was also the dead ex tattoo, or no, that was
that was
literally
so when we were watching Smosh
That's funny, we were watching Smosh Reddit stories.
Right.
Oh, is that good?
But I would say
You just
my
bulk up a
the
little bit
ex
so I can be
and
the
the
shitty.
aunt.
Oh.
Interesting.
Listen, I don't think
The
my mom
ex,
is that bad.
No, the ex and the that dude.
That dude.
The last guy?
He would definitely take my number 3 spot.
I think it's definitely the ex, specifically just for the text.
The mom
part.
is definitely up there though.
Yeah.
Mom's probably second.
I would
She's
probably put mom in 4 for me. Because here's the thing,
I
right?
don't know. It's so complicated. I
Well, I'm
wish
talking
we
about like
knew.
the aunt.
Oh, the
Oh,
aunt.
the
Oh, yeah.
Fox
That
hacker?
bitch is my
Yeah.
second.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely second.
Because it's the thing of like,
What's the mom in fourth?
the one that gave
the son more. Gave the son more.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because the thing with her and the cookie guy is that like sometimes you're a fucking prick and you don't like really know, you know, and hence this thread existing of like sometimes just no one ever fucking told you that you're being
Right.
a shitter about this.
Yeah.
And the mom is like a big case of that because it's like from her perspective she's like doing this out of love and she hasn't like assessed.
I don't know, man.
You don't think so? I don't know.
There seems to be a lot of favoritism there,
That's true.
and a lot of like clear. Well, I don't know.
It screamed to me like she has favorites, but she didn't know she has favorites.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like to me. And then honestly, even that guy. I mean, I don't know. I'd need to see his internet history to be sure.
I fucking know.
But-
I know.
I don't know if he knows how creepy he is.
He
You know what I
sucks
mean?
so bad.
I feel like he has a in his head perfectly logical explanation for why he would Google these.
Yeah,
messages, you know what I mean?
I can see that too.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
there are just clueless old men who
Right.
are gross old men.
Right. But that ex-boyfriend and that aunt did that shit fully on purpose
Yeah.
and doubled down.
That's true.
I'm gonna be honest. If that did happen to me, I would kick them out.
Yeah.
They are for sure
Oh, yeah,
the
for
most
sure.
direct assholes.
Yeah.
I will still give
Because
it
even
to
the old
the ex
dude
because
would, like, left
it's
her
so
alone
fucked.
or whatever.
Right.
I will still give it to the ex because it's so fucked.
Right.
The manipulation and trying to use his parents against her for
Yeah.
literally her just doing something nice for someone.
Right, exactly.
It
That's
was
what I don't
direct
get.
manipulation.
Just because he didn't like it.
And it's like a full secret. That's the other thing too, is that like at least
And then he tried to say, well, I did all this so that you would get in an open relationship with me.
That's the crazy thing.
Yeah.
And I don't want us to tell my parents about our open relationship. I want us to act like we have a bad relationship.
Right.
Break up! Break up!
It's
What do
really
you want
like
me? What do you want me for?
Bro's trying to be Palpatine, playing both sides.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least with the fucking aunt, she was just a. You know what I mean? Like just a straight up asshole.
So maybe we will put aunt in first, just because it is so.
No, because I would rather deal with the aunt
than
than,
the ex.
than
Yeah.
deal with that
So
ex.
ex, aunt,
Yeah,
mom with the money.
I would pay.
Old dude.
I would say
Old dude, mom with the
yeah.
money, cookie guy.
Cookie
He's
guy.
fucking legend.
Yeah.
Fucking legend. Listen, that reminds me so much of some people that I know that have had tense marriages where
Yep.
it's like they're literally just trying to get the other person to get pissed off by any fucking means necessary.
Right, literally.
Like specifically in that situation, like they would leave things out where they specifically weren't supposed to
Right.
be, or like the biggest one that always used to get me, this person, who you both know who it is, would clip his fingernails and leave all his fingernail clippings in the sink
Oh my god.
just to make the other person upset.
Right.
And I was like, wow.
That's insane. That's an insane move.
So thanks for joining us.
You know, if she does a video at some point,
What?
we should.
Why don't we outro this video?
That's a good point. I was gonna leave it as a teaser.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say we should like cut all the names out and then like do like trauma stories. I feel like that.
Bitch, we could record that.
'Cause
like
we have some
outside
good
at some
shit.
point on like a cooler night.
We have some good shit for those.
Like we change names
Yeah.
and tell trauma stories.
Dude,
Let
we
us
could
know
do
in the
the-
comments
we
if
could
you
do the
want
wine
trauma
game.
stories.
Oh.
What's that?
The dropout wine.
Oh.
Dirty laundry?
Yes,
laundry.
dirty laundry.
Comment below if you'd like us to play Dirty Laundry, except for the fact that we're probably going to record it in the next 2 days, so
And
you don't really get a say in it.
And you, Duck13219, I didn't get the numbers right, but you are my favorite, and I want you to know.
Wait, what about Katowice?
Katowice.
The one that DMs us on Instagram.
Thanks for all your
That's
great
true.
suggestions.
Thanks for all
this
your
video.
great suggestions for this video.
And the person with the rose profile picture that always comments.
You know, I
Shout out to
I
all
don't
the
have
commenters.
I don't have any favorites. I don't have any favorites amongst our viewers.
Except for
but one of
Duck.
you is getting more in when I die.